everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on the weTHRIVE podcast, where we share stories from entrepreneurs from around the world about how they're creating an impactful legacy. I'm your host, Casey Clark, and I'm the Chief Growth Officer of C. Clark Consulting. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing a dear friend and colleague, Melissa Bolden, who owns NAD Wellness Spa, as well as Alaza Med Spa. So thank you so much for joining us today, Melissa.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, my name's Melissa, and thank you so much, Casey. Basically, about 20 years ago, I started into the cosmetic industry. My brother introduced me to a franchise, and it was basically doing laser hair removal. And we were one of the first ones in the Frederick area to do that. We partnered up, kind of grew our med spas at the time, ended up downsizing and just having one. So Alaza was born about 12 years ago. We've been serving the Urbana area. I was looking into constantly trying to see what's up and coming, new technologies, kind of staying relevant. And through my research, I came across NAD. This apparently was a new trend in the Cosmo magazine, I think it was. And when I started looking into it, because I had no idea what NAD was, I discovered that it is a longevity molecule or an anti-aging molecule, which fits right into what we do. Basically, things that can kind of stimulate your NAD are red light therapy, cryo chambers, infrared saunas, and hence NAD Wellness was born. So we are a couple doors down, so I can service both places. And I'm pretty excited about this new adventure because now I think we're getting into the healing part of living longer and staying healthier.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few things. One, if you've never been to a med spa, go to Alaza if you're in the Frederick area. It's great. Their laser hair removal is the most amazing thing ever.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So you mentioned you kind of started with franchises, started Alaza, now you have NAD. So I'm really curious, like, what does that word thrive mean to you?
Wow. I mean, I think for me personally, when you're thriving is you're growing, you're moving forward, not staying stagnant, I think. And you're growing. I know you and I have been friends for a long time, and I've seen you grow, and I hope you've seen me grow both, personally and professionally. I'm always striving to be a better boss, to be a better mother, to be a better wife. And I think if you constantly look to continue to thrive, I think you'll just grow into, a better human being.
Yeah, absolutely. So what obstacles have you faced when you've been trying to thrive?
Well, I'm going to say the number one obstacle is myself. I am very type A. I'm very analytical, and I am an overthinker. So I tend to overthink everything, analyze everything for the good and for the bad. And I think some of that holds me back. I think sometimes I just need to trust in myself and lean on others that have guided me and do it. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that's held me back.
Okay. So what resources have you utilized to help you trust yourself?
I want to think my faith is probably a big one. I do have a strong faith, and I do try to spend some quiet time, which has been a lot easier here at NAD because it is a very soft environment and it gives me some time to reflect. My family have been very supportive, so they definitely have encouraging me, especially my husband. He's kind of the rock and the force behind me that pushes me in that direction. And my friends, such as yourself. I have other business professionals. And if you surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, or that, basically can do things like social media is not my strong suit, but I have people around me and on my team that is. So I think if you surround yourself with people that have talents and strengths that you don't, then I think you become a more successful person.
Yeah, I would agree. I think as entrepreneurs, it's really easy to fall into that, oh, I'll just do it myself thing. And then when you realize, like, oh, it's actually better if I don't do it all myself.
That's right. I know, right? I think you're right. I mean, and I am one of those people that I think I take it on because I don't like to ask for help, or I don't like to, put it on somebody else. I feel like I'm burdening them. But as I've gotten older, that not people do want to help, and they do, want you to succeed. And I think it gives them a sense of purpose, too. So I think everybody just kind of works together better if we work as a team.
Yeah, I know a lot of us type A people, it's hard for us to receive.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Well, that helps us.
Yeah. So you mentioned some resources that you've used. You've mentioned your family. You obviously have 2 businesses going right now. So what does that word legacy mean to you, and how are you creating one?
When I think of a legacy, I think it's how people view you when they look back, what they remember about you. And when people look back on my life, I want them to think that I made a difference. Like I try to help people. So either personally or professionally, I want people to look back and think that I changed their lives and in some way.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So with that being said, I'm going to ask that you kind of nerd out a little bit for a moment. So
you'll have to stop me there. At some point in time, say that's enough. Okay.
So you mentioned helping people, and we've recently had the conversation of, how like red light therapy is the thing, but a lot of people are like, oh, it's good for you. They don't really know the extent. So give us just a little bit about exactly how the services that you offer at NAD really help us on a molecular level.
Okay. I don't know if I mentioned in my intro that I am a nurse practitioner. So the science behind things is important to me. And I'm kind of like a pit bull. So once I get an idea in my head, such as NAD, I am like absorbed in it. So I listen to podcasts, I look at research papers, I want to know, because when anything that I've done, I'm not supporting it unless I believe in it 100%. So I spent a good 6 to 8 months just researching NAD before it came to fruition. NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It is a molecule
that 5 times.
I know. It took a little bit to get it under, but it's, now that I've got it, it's just kind of part of my vocabulary. It actually is the longevity molecule. Everybody has this naturally occurring in their bodies. And as we get older, this molecule declines. And it's so important because it actually stimulates our sirtuins to repair our DNA. So DNA makes up everything, our skin, our organs, everything in our body is DNA, and it replicates. So we are constantly making new DNA strands. Well, when that stops happening, we start to decline. So maybe they start to malfunction and we end up with cancer cells, or they just aren't working as well as they should and we get cardiovascular disease. My mom had a stroke. All of these things, we are actually as humans designed to live longer than we actually do. And DNA decline, I think, is one of the reasons why we don't. And we've got a lot of pollutants and environmental factors, and that's a whole other segment. But basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help people heal kind of from the inside. I know at Alaza, we take care of what happens cosmetically if you want to feel better about yourself, because the aging process has already basically happened. We're here at NAD, we're basically trying to help people heal and repair their own DNA. So we have a couple things here. Actually, all of our services stimulate and boost your NAD molecule. If you have like some sort of a biological adversity, so extreme temperatures such as extreme cold, which is our cryo chamber, extreme heat, which is our infrared sauna, red light therapy, even high intensity workout training, because you're putting your body under that stress, or intermittent fasting, that too puts your body under some sort of stress. Those are the things that are going to help to stimulate your NAD molecule, and it's going to help us live longer. So we do have some supplements that can help do that as well. I know a lot of places out there are doing IV NAD or IM. It is very expensive, and that is one way to get the NAD molecule. However, once you get an IV, it is a DNA test, so it's not like a blood test. So once you get that spike in the NAD, how do you maintain it? So I have some supplements that if you take just on a regular basis will get your levels up, maybe a little bit slower, 7 to 10 days versus a couple hours versus an IV. But once your levels are up, we can maintain them. And then you just start feeling better. You start sleeping better. You just start feeling cleaner. I used to have a lot of swelling at the end of the day in my ankles. It decreases your body's inflammation. So I think overall, we just start functioning a little bit better. That's kind of it in a nutshell.
Yeah. So you're the first person I've ever talked to is like, I'm making people live longer. Yeah. Like that's a huge legacy.
That's the goal. Yeah. And healthier. You know, a lot of people, if you interview them, they're like, do you want to live to 100? They're like, no, you know, yeah, I don't want to live broken and not able to walk or able to do. But the whole purpose of this is to live longer and be healthier so we can enjoy those older years and not have the arthritis and, you know, the hunched over. And that's the biggest thing I think I've noticed being here and opening this. We're very new, so we've only been here a couple months. And, you know, it's nice to read things on paper, but then it's amazing when you have people come in and actually experience them. I mean, I have people in here with rheumatoid arthritis that are like, I haven't been pain-free and it's been, you know, a couple of days. And each time they do a treatment, it lasts. You know, it may be, I have somebody in with Lyme's and it's healing. So people are feeling better. You know, people that are just living with general pain are now getting some relief from the pain. So it's exciting to see people have more quality to life by doing some of these services.
Yeah, I think it also goes back to the whole like thriving, not just surviving concept, you know? Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So if you could give someone one nugget that would help them to keep striving towards thriving, what would that nugget be?
I think you just have to believe in yourself. You know, I talk to people all the time and they're just like, oh, I could never do what you do. Oh, why not? You know, you got to try. And I've always had, I think, that mentality. And I'll give my mom and my dad credit for that because they always pushed me. You know, they always had me strive to be the best and to, you know, basically overachieve. But, you know, I think you just have to have faith to do it. You know, it's just jumping out and starting your own business, you know, your dreams, dream big and then go get it. You know, I think there's not anything, I don't think there's anything that I can't do or overcome because I think that's just a mindset. I don't think it's that, I think everybody can have that mindset. You just have to believe in yourself.
Yep. And that's why we're friends. We have to believe.
And we support and encourage each other. And that's important too. You know, I think this networking that I'm now getting more into, I used to sit down and just focus on what I have to get done. And I didn't really look at what's around me. And there's so many amazing people and opportunities and support systems that I really haven't taken advantage of. And I'm excited now. It's almost like my eyes have been open a little bit to what's out there. And I'm excited I just came from a marketing event this morning and great people, you know, people, like-minded people are in the same situation that I'm in that can relate. So yeah, I think it's important to reach out to your community.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a really good community here in Frederick. So that's helpful.
We're very lucky.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. So is there anything else that you'd like to share with us that we didn't cover already?
I think I focused a lot on NAD. I'm super proud of Alazo too. Alazo Med Spa is kind of my baby. We've been growing this guy. We had franchises, I think we talked about in the beginning, but this has been ours. So we were able to kind of mold it how we want. My staff's amazing. They've all been with us for years. My co-owner, Kim Horman, she's been great. So I just feel like it's something that I do want to put out there that, yeah, we are definitely there. And I know people, especially when we had COVID and everybody was on Zoom and everybody was like, oh my gosh, I hate the way I look. We're giving people that sense of power, that sense of well-being, that they feel better about themselves. And it's not necessarily what we see in them that they should correct. It's what they see in themselves. And it may be hair removal. It may be Botox. It may be, you know, your skin. It just, whatever it is, we've touched so many lives. It's not necessarily just a vanity thing. I think it actually makes people feel better. And when you feel better, you know, then you in turn can, you know, pass it on and, you know, treat others kindly if you're happy. So I think it's just a matter of giving people that support that they need.
Yeah, agreed. And as someone who's had plenty of services there, I can attest. Definitely. Well, you can find Melissa on the web, both NADWellnessSpa.com as well as Alazo Med Spa, or excuse me, AlazoSpa.com. I always throw that up. And then on social media as well, so Facebook and Instagram. So thank you so much, Melissa. I have definitely appreciated the conversation and getting to know more about your legacy and what makes you thrive. And I appreciate your time today.